Hello guys, today I'm going to show you traps in the fried liver attack, and that is the most common attack, and if you are rated between 1000 to 1600 you must have seen this scene many times, and this is the very famous trap and most common for the beginners to use this trap against you as a white, and there are multiple ways by which you can defend it. So I will show you the way in which you can dominate the white easily although you are under pressure, as the bishop and knight are targeting your f7 pawn, and as this pawn is very weak, so they might be thinking that they are winning this position, but I'll show you many of the moves that will make you completely dominant in the game. So let's start from the beginning. The move starts with e4, e5, and after knight to f3 you play knight c6, and after bishop to c4 you play knight f6, and now they are coming for knight g5 and coming for this pawn. So the most obvious reply from you should be to move this pawn, and after that they take, and the most common mistake that the beginners make in this position is taking it with the knight, because this knight is defended by the queen. So the beginners think that they are easily neutralizing the material, but here the trap comes after the sacrifice from the white, that is knight sacrifice, and after you take it he gives the check with queen to f3, and now when you defend it, the check, either you can go back thinking that now your king is safe, but it's not safe, it's a checkmate, because that was a blunder, and after you take, whatever you do, it will be a checkmate. After you sacrifice the bishop, it lastly becomes a checkmate. So this is the mistake which beginners do, and if you come here trying to defend it, the knight with your king, now your king is completely in the center, and now you don't have enough options, and you inside of you must be thinking that this is unsafe, and it is actually unsafe. So what are the ways what white can do? So the main move here is knight to a5, or pushing up the pawn to b5, and when he takes, you can take and attack the knight, and there are many nasty tracks in this, but today I'm going to show you after this a very uncommon move which is not known by many of the players, that is knight to d4, and by this there are two ways that white can do. First way, let me show you from the white's perspective. So after all the moves from the starting, the main aim of the white was to put pressure on this pawn. So what is the obvious response from the white from here? The obvious response is to push this pawn to d6, and now he is again threatening this pawn and putting pressure. So you should defend this, and the ways are by playing here or bringing the queen here, but here, so from here you will play a surprising move, that is queen takes on d6, and now white must be thinking that you have done a blunder, and because now when the knight takes on the pawn, he is attacking the rook and the queen, and now his dream has come true. But this is not the case. We have a plan for here also, but let me show you the more good move by white, that is bishop takes on f3, and now your king is under attack, although there is nothing much that the white can do, but then also he has gained a pawn, so you can defend it by king to e2, and now he has to bring back his bishop, because if he plays a random move, that is let's say castle, now you can attack his knight, and after the knight moves back you can grab his bishop. So he has to do not castle and bring back his bishop, and the most obvious response is bishop to b3, and after that you can take his bishop by the knight, and after he takes, you can push this knight, and this knight has not got enough squares. After this, when you push the pawn, now this knight has not got enough squares, because this is covered, and he may not like to go back, so he may try to pin the pawn. But after queen to f7, now again this knight is attacked, so if he goes here, this knight is trapped after pawn to g5, and if he not goes here and tries to go back here, now you can see the position how we have completely developed our pieces, and this bishop is ready to attack, but white's pieces are not developed any of the kind, so we'll simply keep our pressure and attack the queen, and if he defends with this, we can take and attack again, and if he tries to grab it, then he is gone after this move rook to e1, as now the queen is pinned, and there is nothing much he can do, because if he tries to block and give check, we can take it, and again the queen is pinned and double attacked, so he cannot do much, and he has to give away his queen. So this is when he tries to pin by the queen, and if he doesn't try to pin, then if he goes here, we can simply play trap, and if he goes back, now I told you that all his pieces are all on the back rank, and we have developed up quite little, and this pawn is also ahead, and we can easily win this game by this positional advantage. So this was the case when he plays a comparatively better move, that is bishop to f7, And now let me show you what to do if he plays. So after knight to f7, you can see that this knight is attacking our queen and the rook, and from here what we do is just slightly shift our queen to c6, and now we are attacking his bishop. And as we see from the white's perspective, his main plan for the knight and bishop was to take away this rook. So he will carry out with his plan, and that is what we want, because after he takes the rook, our aim is not to take the bishop. Our aim is more juicy, that is to take this pawn and attack on the rook, and that to give a check after rook takes. So he will try to defend the rook, and when he defends the rook, we will come back and give the check. And now here his king cannot move, so he has only two options, that is block with the queen. That will not work because queen will be gone. So the other response is bishop to e2, but now this move is a blunder, because after knight to f3, this is a smothered checkmate, as the bishop cannot take, queen is pinning the bishop, so this will be a smothered checkmate. And now let me show you a more common response, second most common response after this move is not moving ahead the pawn and putting pressure on the f3 and trying to kick away this knight from here. So when he tries to kick away the knight, we have to remember the move, that is bishop to pawn to b5, and after this pawn is protected by the bishop, so he cannot take the pawn. So what he will do is to try to capture the bishop, capture the knight, then we can capture his bishop. And now he may think that he can grab an extra pawn, and now he is two pawn up and attacking this knight and also having two pawns in the center. So he must be thinking that he is gaining the material, but here what we will play is queen takes on d5, and now when he captures this knight, we can capture his knight also, and when he captures my pawn, we can capture it by the bishop back. And now this bishop is attacking the whole diagonal. And what is the key move here? We are also attacking his this g2 pawn, and after that we will attack his rook. So the obvious response from the white is to castle, and after he castles, what we can do is play bishop to b7, and now we are threatening a checkmate. And as we are threatening a checkmate, he has two ways to defend it. First is to push forward this pawn, and as you know that pushing forward this pawn is a mistake, because now he has opened this diagonal and now his light squares are very weak. So we have many attacking ideas. We can simply castle, and now we can simply castle, and after this we are ready to attack, as we have both rooks connected. And now we will try to push forward this pawn and open up this file and place the rook in here, and this is also controlled, and we will further try to bring bishop and pin this pawn. And there are many attacking ideas, and you can see how is white's position. All the pieces are in the back rank and they are not developed, so we are having a huge position advantage. Let me show you in the evaluation bar, and it is giving us a complete 2.8 points advantage, that is almost 3 points advantage, and white is almost in trouble. And now the evaluation bar has put it to 4 points. So that is the beauty of this trap. And let me show you if he tries to block with a more better response, that is pawn to f3. Now what we will do is give check, and once it slides back, we will connect the rook with the queen and put a battery on this g2 square. And you can say that yes, he can give check, but we can simply save it by here. And now it is under huge pressure. Why? Because if whatever he plays any random move, we will put pressure on this queen, and if the queen slides back, this is a checkmate, and whatever he do, he will completely be lost, because we are having 6 points advantage, and this pawn is ready to move forward and put pressure on this pawn. And you can see that how tough the situation is for white. Although he came here to attack us and put pressure on my pawn, but now he is completely put in the corner, his king, and not much of the pieces are developed, and we are in a huge attacking force with all our pieces involved in the attack, and it is under huge pressure. So this is the beauty of the fried liver attack and the defense, that is knight to d6 d4. So this was the trap. And if you see that after this move he doesn't play this move, although he tries Vienna gambit, then you can see my video on Vienna gambit also, and there are many attacking ideas by white in the Vienna gambit variation. And if you want to watch this video, you can click on the I button here and see the video. Thank you for watching this. If you like this video and want me to teach you about the fried liver attack from the white side, you can comment me, and I will make a video on fried liver attack by the white side. Thank you.